It's time to get really excited. I'm about to lay the pebble floor in the shower. Right now, I'm just taking the rocks out of the bags and sorting them by color on the floor. So then when I'm in the shower, I can come out, grab a handful of the size that I need and take them in.
Ooh, it's bright out here, Miss Vic.
It's fantastic.
What you got going on?
I'm gonna wash these rocks. I gotta go get my scrubby, scrub them off. Then I'm gonna lay them out on a piece of cardboard, let them dry. And then I think that I may seal them with something. I have a couple different things I can spray on them. One is like a flat and one is a glossy. I think they're like a polyurethane spray or something like that. I forget. Don't quote me. I'll pick back up with you in a bit. Oh, I didn't even tell you. This is the pebbles that Brian and I hand-picked from a landscaping company. We're gonna do our own pebble floor in the shower instead of buying a prefab thing, which is gorgeous and everything. We just wanted to not spend triple the amount of money on stones.
Does that make sense?
So
Pretty
we're gonna make
cool.
our own. Plus then we can choose our own design and it won't be like a repetitive pattern. It'll be random, like at a beach. Scrub them, and then bring them inside. You're gonna trim. Set them here to dry. Those green ones are incredible. So I've got my purple tones, dark bluey, gray, black ones, green ones, my light assorted. I've got my speckled, red, and gray. I got a lot more rocks to go through. Whole other bag right here to go through. God, that is heaven. Holy, look how filthy I am. Wow. Brian and I are so dirty and in desperate need of a real shower, not just a sink bath. I'm gonna call that a Dirt McGirt level up. Pretty well sorted. I've got a few rocks set up in the shower so we can start mixing the thin set. And then once I get the thin set mix, I'll pull a few away at a time from the wall and then start to set them in. There's the idea. Oh my God, it's gonna look so cool. Nice blend of colors. Holy! There we go. It's time to rock and roll. Okay, so I'm gonna start by pulling the rocks away from the edge of the wall where I had placed them. Hopefully I can keep them in order and just put a little bit of mortar, well, whatever mortar I need underneath each of them. And this should be pretty cool. Okay, there's not a lot of room for me and you guys. And the setup, oh, I really don't think this is gonna stay the same as what it was, that's for sure. Damn. I'm gonna have to get creative here. Oh, so peanut buttery. So I don't have a notch trowel. So this is what we're using. Let's pull it up and see. Full coverage. Oh yeah. Just want to put a little more in this corner here. Last night I stopped filming because it got really cramped in here and I seriously didn't even hardly have room for my body, let alone a bucket of mortar and all the stone variety I needed to choose from to place the stones properly, and the sponge bucket with the little wet sponge so I could clean the rocks off. So let me show you how it looks. It's dry enough now. I'm about to grout it. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And it feels so incredible on bare feet. So in love. So the next step is grouting it, and then we gotta wait a few days and then we'll put a stone enhancer on. So this is a process. We're getting so close to having a shower though. It's really exciting and really necessary. I don't think either one of us have ever been so dirty in our whole lives. Oh my gosh, these stones feel like heaven on the feet. Wow. All right, so I've got my stuff ready. I've got the grout. I've got 2 buckets of water. This bucket is going to be my dirty grout bucket, and then that's my clean sponge bucket for cleaning the grout. Okay, this is the sponge they gave me. It has soap coming out of it. It says dampen the rocks. Holy smokes, look how pretty they are. Slightly dampened. I do not know why suds are coming off of this sponge that came. The sponge was like sitting in the top of this, there's hardly enough room in here for me and you. So this is gonna be interesting. Oh. Navajo sand. Let's see how this goes on. It says firmly using a thing, squish the grout into the crevices. Okay, so I've got about 1/3 of it done. Now, I'm just going to go over it and push it into the crevices. And I'm going to collect excess and smear it into other places. But I think that this will be best anyways because I want to see the stones, and we already walked on it a bunch today and we love it. So it's not that we want to like get rid of the different heights and stuff. We love that. Right, let's go back to the back here. You got quite a bit of working time with this stuff, which is super cool. Something like you do like a clean as you go technique. So every 5, like between the first 5 and 10 minutes, they're suggesting you clean the stones. It says it cleans off really easy. Guys, this is a freaking mess. Oh no.
There's rocks in there somewhere.
Somewhere. Oh my god.
I would say I'd help you and jump in there and help, but there ain't no room for me.
There's hardly enough room for me. Oh my god, it's so uncomfortable.
Alright, we'll keep on rocking it, babe.
Wish me luck.
We will. We all will.
Holy smokes, guys. This is more challenging than I expected, mostly because I've never done it before and I didn't really have a technique for this. I'm just taking a quick knee break here. It's pretty rough on the old knees. Anyways, so I've found that squishing the grout down in between the rocks is good, and then running the little trowel over it until the rocks are as clean as possible. Then what I'm doing is taking the sponge and just focusing rock by rock on scrubbing it until the rock is clean. And what I've found is that kind of pushes the grout back around the outside edge of the rock. And then I'm just using my gloves to like kind of squish the grout down in between the rocks, and trying to clean the face of the rocks off the best that I can because they're so beautiful. I don't want to cover them all up in grout. So that's what I'm up to. It's so pretty. You gotta see this. Right, here's what I got so far. And then these are the ones that I'm working on. I don't really have enough hands to show you how I'm doing it, but basically I got the sponge wet and then I'm kind of just like rubbing it clean into the outside edge of the rock. And then even just using the edge of the sponge sometimes to push the grout and kind of shape the grout into place. All right, my sponge is kind of dirty now, so time to clean that. I kind of got sick of wearing the gloves, to be honest. Some of these more porous rocks, you gotta kind of scrub them to get this stuff off of them. You can kind of like push the excess stuff down. And chances are too, like I'm slow at this because I've never done this. So the grout's kind of starting to stick to the rock. Another thing I've noticed is in the spots where my mortar was kind of high, those have kind of become problem areas where I can like see those guys poke through. So then I just place some grout on it with my finger on those little spots. I ran out of grout. It sucks because we got this stuff in another city. So we're gonna make a trip to another city to go get more of the grout. Who knows how long that's gonna take? I don't even know if it's okay to like stop and start. I imagine it probably is. This stuff's workability is pretty cool, but what a pain in the butt, guys. Seems like every day there's some kind of stupid delay, whether it's like waiting on stuff to get delivered or something malfunctions or whatever. But it's okay. We have one more month until we have to get off this property because we're not supposed to be living on it. City bylaws are dumb. That's all I have to say about that. So we were able to get more grout. Ba-ba! It's been a couple days since I ran out of the stuff. The first round was honestly a bit of a pain in the butt, just in the sense that the smearing the grout all over the face of the rock is just not the same as smearing it all over the face of tile. So the instructions are for tile, and they're for like river rocks that have been manufactured and put on the mesh, not random rocks that are from nature, that are not yet sealed either. So smearing the grout all over the face of the rocks, porous rocks, was a big mess, and it took me a really long time to clean up the faces of the rocks to my liking. I also have just a couple spots where I rubbed it a little too thin, so I'm gonna fill in those little spots where you just like see the mortar poking through. That's where I'm gonna start. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this little guy just to get the stuff out of the container, and then I'm gonna use this almost like a hog, like when you're troweling. I'm just gonna hold the stuff on that, and then I'm gonna smush the stuff, smush the grout in between the rocks with my fingers instead. This stuff didn't bother my hands. I was wearing gloves initially the first time, and then they were just too floppy and in the way, so I quickly switched away from gloves. So I'm gonna do this barehanded. I have some exciting news. It's time to seal the stones and the grout. We got this really nice stone enhancer, so it should really make the color of the rocks pop. I'm gonna seal it up, but first let's vacuum the floor and make sure we get all the little gritty bits from the grout off before we seal it. Alright, this should be pretty quick and painless. I've got my Medjool Dates container, I've got a fresh paintbrush, I've got a pair of gloves, and I've got this Aqua Mix stuff. Glove Pro. And rock and roll. It doesn't say anything about shaking on this thing, so I'm just not gonna shake it because that can cause bubbles and stuff. I'm just gonna do a little bit. This says it covers 375 square feet. We have 17, so let's start like kids. The only warning that I saw on the label that I think is worth noting is that if it starts to pool, use a paper towel to just sup up the extra. That's it. So let's paint this stuff on. Oh, and as per usual, I'm gonna back myself out of the space. So I'm just gonna work my way from the left side of the curve, kind of around to the grate, and then I'm gonna back myself out of here. Oh yeah, this stuff's super runny. You probably hardly need any. Cool. Look how enhanced those stones are. Whew. This stuff's stinky, just so you know. I've got the windows open, I got a fan on. We're gonna try to do this really fast, so I'm gonna put you guys down and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, just because I couldn't help but give you a sneak peek. Look at that. Oh my god, that's crazy. There they are without it. With it. Without the enhancer. With the enhancer. Damn, that is so pretty. Can I get a holy hot damn? That is beautiful. Wow, this shower experience has been like never ending, but I'd say that's a pretty nice bow on it.